shroud now on tea Nanimuncho. And young Cassabebre. And now, obey me at baby now what me aka said, it be na Aka TV for Kennedy Agyapong, I'm almost cabinting a brain now, Omokan Papanasem and Tisa. And Tisa, many share impo, enemy nuno. Na near oya a damn frame, and a yenson ama yetana chi. Near won't say or no qualify. Over to me, I share a video. Wait me as subscribe. Or you'll be a pen cron quadia. You'll be a pen cray. Na for bonus quadia. Wait me as share a video. May God bless you. God give you long life. Ayaka TV Virginia Stafford. Niyako and Nene Kennedy Agyapong. Aye or the four. Na Ghana ya wansembia ya kanfa papa no say. Wakunipa, waye cocaine dealer. But up to now, Omokan wants me now. Ubi and what me a cheaper pay. Otiha, or didi, or no, on an area, on an ma, be fine, or any business, or be finding court, or bring finding police station. A mama won't say Ghana for you be. So onyame ye wadomu a yempewasem ti se hian ebe hian wasebi obekwakotina antina ho na wo sresre ska no na antina ebo modin so beboa wo na amanfo timi aboa no eno na Ghana fo pe sebe hwiase fall hwiase na wontimi nsole biem na amanfo anje giskan ketinketi bi emwano ni enfamro en na Ghana pe na Ghana fo mpo bia oyo defo na se ebe yiu se ya nyanyo se ya dienyo me enemy hu because Kennedy no onyame hire no na matie ni program bi wonne me pesem no mi no min kasancho yenkotie ebra papa no breye obreye ansana obabenye ne sika na wotu oba bi wotu wakura wotu dan ketu abim na wonya fon bi esi wonimu a na okeken ho sep yanko ni yankotie honorable Kennedy Agyapong ne bre ho sep no an sister kra no e falling it down ono an mame kra no eyi ni man na so ampaba onye sika first wine scanner ashi onye second wine scanner she and the third one was no we dey mempini be me mani and scanner timi akina and ye dey ye kika no nsem yi na ye nim ekwan ofa so nye sika di me do okọ nye nkotie honorable king ekwan ya onyame fa so a odum no free Germany ebepim America in America eba Ghana onyame shiraw salary kramanfo aba Africa Ghana ni ade amanfo ade aba America papa na de ba Ghana ebe de no nyeska onu no de ba Ghana ebe de no nyeska yonkweni nkotie na woni beje ho share video no.
Honorable, is it because the information around how to go about doing business and making real money isn't available to the youth, or per your experience they just don't want to listen?
The perception, unfortunately, in this country, I'll be blunt.
Be very blunt.
This perception that Sikedro is there when we're growing up, it was there. But the person who worsened the situation, I'll be blunt with you, was ex-President Rawlings.
Why so?
He made people lazy and over-dependent on government. Because when he came, he killed and collapsed successful Ghanaian businesses in this country. Allow the ordinary workers like you and Edward Boateng, your workers here, Rawlings will kill Edward Boateng or let him run away from this country and allow the workers to run the business. You don't know the thinking that went through for him to establish this radio station. So when it is given to you overnight,
you won't be able to run it.
Precisely. So they had CDRs, PDCs, and they'll be singing. We not go sit down making cheaters every day. No, walai. Rollins created the impression that the owners of the businesses were cheating their workers.
Wow.
And they took over. And everything, he indoctrinated Ghanaians to extend that everything was government. So you see today that most of our people have become beggars. They are always dependent on government for everything. That is the remote cause of what we are experiencing today.
Wow.
Everybody thinks government has to do everything. It is not true. Anywhere in the world, you can't get it. Anybody who depends solely on government will never succeed in life. Because what the government has, she has to share it to everybody. So how much are you going to get?
And we have to actually contribute to the bigger amount they are sharing.
Precisely. So now I come to the point.
Honestly, I believe by the end of this interview, a lot of people listening now, especially the youth, will actually come into terms with the fact that the reality is reality. There's no secret anywhere.
You know, the shortcut will land you into trouble.
Honorable, the honest truth is I'm also a part of the youth. Many a times, as I said earlier, we hear of people who have made it, but the information around how they even got to the top is not anywhere.
I'm going to share mine with you today.
We are going deep, Honorable. Very, very deep. But let's go back to the main question, the first one. Where did Honorable grow up in Ghana?
Yeah, I was born and bred at Asin Dompim, Fusu Roman Catholic Hospital.
Wow.
Asin Fusu.
Okay.
And my real village, the original, is Asin Dompim.
Asin Dompim.
Yeah, just a kilometer. Now, it's part of Fusu. Because of urbanization and development, now it's part of Fusu.
But it's developed. It's no longer a village.
Oh, it's still a village compared to a...
Okay, is that part of the reasons why you still call yourself a village boy?
Yeah. I'm just proud of where I'm coming from.
Okay.
I don't want to be... You know, some people, when they make it in life, they don't even want people to know their past. I was born and bred in the village. When I share this story with you, it will motivate some youth to take their destiny into their own hands. So I'm not afraid to share my past with you. I was born and bred at Asin Dompim. At 1968, I was taken to Kumasi because my father was a teacher there.
Okay.
I went to school in Kumasi, Bantima Presby.
I know Bantima Presby.
Yeah. Then from there, I went to Sojalai.
That's where I actually went to school too. Hey, oh no, but I'm just young.
I went to Sojalai. From there to practice school.
Okay.
Then they brought me back to my village because I was a troublesome boy, always fighting. So my father couldn't take it. They brought me back to my village. So I completed elementary school in my village, Asin Dompim.
Okay.
I went to Adsadi College at the age of 16 because I completed SAR 7, what they call SAR 7, from 4.
Which was quite young, right?
Old.
Old?
Because my classmates got some of them were around 10, 11.
Okay.
Some of my classmates, I'm turning 60 next month. They are about 55, 56.
Okay.
So
you were like their big brother.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what kind of home did you grow up in? I see a lot of discipline in you whenever you speak.
Yeah.
What was the upbringing like at home? If you're to say.
I will tell you the two. There are three. I lived with my grandmother.
Okay.
Anytime I was being bad in Kumasi and they shipped me back to my village, I stayed with my grandmother.
Okay.
What she did was that, in the village, we were classmates, myself, Opon, Stephen Yamiche, and Brukuma. We called something in Nobwa, meaning Saturday, Sunday, these young men or young boys will go and weed some bush to create a farm. So today is Ken on Saturday. The next Sunday is Brukuma. Then the two left, Stephen Yamiche and Opong, will be the following week.
Okay.
So by the time the farming season starts, we have our own farms. We have our own farms.
At that tender age?
Yes, and my grandmother will be doing everything because I go to school. She cannot cut these big trees and fell the big trees, so we will do that. Then she takes over. Again, when I was in Kumasi, I was staying with my father. My father didn't know how to train kids. He was a teacher, surprisingly. But every mistake with a slap, that is why I'm not afraid of anything.
Wow.
Every mistake. My father never sat with me even to tell me why you shouldn't do this. One mistake, wham, wham, wham. So it got to a point I was not even scared of anybody again.
Your body created resistance for that.
Then when I went to Adisadu College, I moved to Accra because my mother has remarried. My stepfather, now he's at East Legon. My mother is passed. There, we were staying at Kokomlimle.
Multimedia?
Challenge bookshop.
Okay.
The technical school, Accra, ATTC.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we were staying. Exactly opposite Isaac Osei's house, parents. There, I wasn't a bad boy, but I liked fighting. So anytime you hear people coming to my home, it means I've beaten somebody. But the difference between my stepfather and my father is that my stepfather will put me in his car. He's a soldier, a border guard. That is where they have the immigration headquarters. When he comes back from work, then he'll take his car to do some taxi. I'll be sitting in front, and this man will be advising me.
Wow.
Don't do this, don't do. I never had that from my real father. He wouldn't have time. A teacher only slaps, a lot of things.
Was he like that only at home, or it was his character?
Well, I think he's a hardcore guy too.
Okay.
Very hardcore guy. I've seen him fight several times.
Wow.
Yeah, with my grandfather. My grandfather was a chief. That one is a long story. My grandfather didn't want him to marry my mother.
Okay.
So that generated into something else.
Issues.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But he was a hardcore guy. In fact, the teachers called him boxer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a lefty. One mistake, boom, even among his own teachers, he was, those things. But I think that is not a good training. My son is here. I don't remember. I think I've lashed him once.
He said once.
Yeah, once. I've never,
But I'm sure that one even came with, some talks around.
Oh, yes.
I had to
I like talking to my kid. It got to a point I didn't respect my father because he didn't give me anything. It was only beating and, But I respect my stepfather till date. My mother is dead. The house is still there. Every month I take care of him because of the way he taught me real life. And I can tell you, when my father thought I was a bad boy and I didn't listen, my stepfather thought I was a very good boy. He had 14 kids.
Okay.
And his cousin asked him, he wants to do him a favor. One of his children he wants to take to Germany. And my stepfather chose me.
Out of the 14?
Out of his 14 kids, real ones. The man chose me.
So you were not bad after all.
Yeah, but the training that my father gave me, that's why I think he wasn't a good father.
Wow.
He didn't teach me.
You had a very interesting childhood. Honorable, from what you said, I now know where your interest in farming came from. But now let's bring it back to now. Farming isn't really a thing the youth are getting into. It's not enticing. I don't know who has made it like that.
I don't know your time. I was going to give you 1 hour, but I'll give you more if you have time.
Honorable, we can do 3 hours if you want.
So let me continue, and the people listening have to get the upbringing, how I started life. So at the Southern College, when I came to stay in Accra, My mother used to sell at Okanshi on a small table between Mr. Donko from Agogo and Mr. Agyapong. In between them, two ladies, they'll be facing each other. Auntie Foster and my mother, they'll put their tables together and sell. Then in the evening, they'll pack everything in a box and go and put it in those shops. So what I did that time was that my mother was selling what we call wick. Wick is what we put in the lantern so that you lit the match. Yeah. Blade. And the blade, they had two types. Tatra.
Blue bino.
Blue. The nozzle with the crocodile on it. We have some PK, chocolate. So we create a board. Then we put a bit on each. Then we go around. Yes, PK, chocolate, Tatra, nozzle. Yes, Rob.
Wow.
We're selling, hawking on the street. And it was a competition among the brothers or siblings. And one guy always made more money than me, Opong. Now he's a pastor.
Pastor Opong.
You know? Then I graduated into selling lead bars. Lead bars is what they use for guns, the local guns. Okay, buckets, aluminium buckets. So in 1981, when I was going to sixth form, there was a lady from his Equiapem half and a Nigerian, married to a Nigerian, and they were bringing a lot of stuff. That time, Ghana, because of Rollins and his coup and whatever happened, he handed over to the man. There were a lot of shortages. So I remember very well, NNSC, Nigeria National Supply Commission, milk. There are some, they call it wire. When you want to trap an animal, in the farms, you know, that's what they use. So, yeah. So this woman will bring all these things, I'll sell, make money. So when I was going to sixth form, I was rich. Myself, not my parents.
Not your parents.
But through business. Through business. So when I finished sixth form, my stepfather's cousin asked, which of your children do you want me to help? And he said, take my son, Ken. That time, what his real children said was that, I don't know how to put it, was it what to unsuno and out the baha ashim, meaning you take your intestines out and put leaves in your stomach.
Means they were not in support of what was happening.
Yeah, meaning I was not the real child, and he took the stepchild instead of the real child. But all the real children that I took them to America, none of them has even come back to say that, brother or sister, let me also help you. They didn't do it. What it means is that if any of them had first
gone,
that would have been the end of the family.
True, that's very true.
So, if you want a real prophet, my stepfather is a prophet.
He's the one.
Yeah, he's the one.
He foresaw. With the foresight, yes.
Yeah, he foresaw that the future of my family does not come from my own children, but my stepson.
And I'm sure he's very proud of you now.
Oh, yes.
Honorable, so if I'm not mistaken, your first opportunity out of Ghana was Germany.
Yeah, Germany.
How long did you stay there?
I stayed there for 18 months.
18 months.
Then I went to America.
How did you just move to America through that 18 months?
Yeah, I worked hard, and the lady that I was staying with, an elderly woman, she took me through a lot. You know, it was not easy to get a job. So I got a job at a restaurant. It's called Times Square on Holmes Hotel or whatever. And I'll start working at around 5 p.m. After that, 5 to 5. Then from 5 p.m., 5 a.m., I'll drive to Promat and also do 2 hours. So I'll finish about 9. Then I'll come home. I'll get home around 11. Sometimes in the train, I'll fall asleep and even miss my station. Had to come back. When you sleep at 11, 2 p.m., the woman will call you. Kennedy.
That's just 3 hours.
Yes, Kennedy, when you go to America, you're going to go to school and work at the same time. You have to start from here. I have to clean the lady's house before I go to work at 5. My brother. And when you get there, Germany, you work. So I have to work at the restaurant for 12 hours again and go back to Promat.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. You couldn't sleep. So I made money. And that's how I was able to go to
the US.
Yeah, America. And in fact, I'll be honest with you, the Germans, they are hardworking more than the Americans. They will really use you. So when I went to America, the second day, I got a job at Zaro Bakery.
Okay.
Which was not possible in Germany.
In Germany.
So it was a dream come true. I work at Zaro Bakery in a freezer. So when they make the doughs, they put it in the racks and put it in the freezer. Very cold. When it comes out, it's like a stone. Then they'll thaw it again before they put it in the oven. So I was there, and one day in my own building, I was coming out, and I met my senior, Baba Moro. He's in Kumasi.
Okay.
Coming out. Then he asked me, hey, what are you doing? And I'm so I live here. I said, what? I also live here. He was on the 6th floor, 5J, and I was 6H, 178th Street. So he said he works at a gas station. So he fixed me gas station as well. So I'll do the bakery 40 hours, then I'll come and do gas station. And listen, why there is no Sikedro anywhere? My 40 hours, my permanent job is the bakery.
Yeah.
But those Ghanaians who have stayed in America for long, after work, all they know, most of them, entertainment. So weekends, they'll give their shift to me
You go and work.
and go to parties, then I will stay in and work. That's what I want my son to learn. Monday evening, I start from 10 p.m. to 6. Then by the time I finish checking the sales, it will be around 8. I have to start work at 12. So I'll go home, get some farina and some soup. Then straight to Zaro Bakery around Hans Point.
That's where your official 40 hours begin.
Yes. So I came to a point, I was doing 88 hours a week from the gas station. I start Monday, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Tuesday, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. That gives you 16 hours. Wednesday, 10 to 6. That gives you 24. Thursday, okay, that gives you 32. Then you do Friday. Now listen, Friday, 10 to 6 gives you the 40 hours. Saturday, 24 hours. And Sunday, 24 hours. So I get 88 hours straight. And you know, because if you make the slightest mistake you make, you die. They will shoot you.
Yeah.
America, you are dealing with money, these guys. So they have bulletproof. You only slide the money here. A gun cannot even go.
Exactly.
Right. So Saturday, Sunday, I have curtains on the floor. This the oil. I remove them, the ones that I'm selling, the coffee, whatever. So I will tear them apart and make it like a bed. and sleep on it. Whilst you are sleeping, you are dozing, then
Somebody knocks.
Pump number 5, $20. Your eyes are red.
Wow.
You are using the computer.
But I was sorry, but how old were you at this point?
No, I was in 1985. I was 25 years.
And so you didn't fall sick through the season? Were
No.
there times
No.
your body just took this knock?
Yeah. Because of the training from Germany, it was easy for
It was
me.
easy for you.
Germany, I was washing plates. And my brother, if I put my hand in the hot water or after bath, you see these white things here. Now I've used shea butter, so you can see.
Gone.
All these years in
see
Germany,
that.
I was washing plates. Just for 18 months, but till date, if you are with me, after bath, you will see these white things here. So America was heaven with all these jobs.
The thing is, you just went in for the jobs, so it wasn't a challenge for you, because what you're saying would be a challenge for somebody else.
The challenge would be that you wouldn't want to spend that number of hours. And let me tell you, those we met with their green card and American passport, most of them were working in the hotels. They were making $240, $250 a week. And the 88 hours, I was making only 285. Then the Zaro Bakery, the 40 hours, my take home was $120. But you see, because I put in more hours, I was making about 3/4 more than those with their green card and a passport, because I was earning $400 a week. Those with their passports, American citizen and whatever, were making $250.
You were making way more than them.
Yeah, because I put in more hours. Then I have a friend here, Osofo from Pong. He stays at Achimota. And Baba Moro taught me how to drive. I didn't know how to drive until, I age 24, not like them, they have, So Baba Moro taught me how to drive. I decided to drive a taxi. So I've saved money. I went to auction and bought Chevy Impala. Same scenario. If you make a mistake, you're going to die. So we have bulletproof in the car. So with insurance and everything, it came to $3,000. I didn't have my green card, but I started working, driving taxi in the Bronx. And listen, who says Sikadro and you can make it? You can make it. In 7 months, I had 8 taxis.
From the first one you had bought?
Yeah. Because every month, every day, I save $100. The 7 days will give me $700.
Yeah.
But I make more money in the weekends. So I use that to pay my rent and food. But the weekend, you will still make more money. Now, if I save 100 weekends, I can make about 180 on Friday night, another 180 on Friday night, Saturday night, and
then
Sunday,
Monday.
around a year, come back home with maybe 120, 130. So, in a month, I save $3,000. Then I'll go to auction. I want him to listen. My son is standing there. He has to listen.
Can he listen?
He has a lot of things on silver platter. So I'll go there, auction, buy this car, do the insurance with Lawyer Mankwa, big brokerage, do the partition and everything. Then I'll give it to somebody to drive. You pay $40 a day. I don't want stories until this is where probably my father's style or whatever comes in. If I give it to you, it's contract. Sunday evening, you bring my 280. The only time you give me excuse is when I take the car to workshop for maintenance.
So regardless, they should still make the money.
Yeah, you make my money. 280.
And was this cool for them? Did they see you as
Oh
a
yeah,
strict
$40.
That was cool.
But look, because on my own, I save 100.
Yeah.
So if I bought a car for you, out of the 100, you have 60 and have 40. If you are working, you can make the 60 hour time. Because I do Zaro Bakery a week, 120. And you are
That's
making
for
$60.
yeah.
Yeah, and we are making $60 a day. So it was very good money. And so I didn't want any story. So with these 8 taxis, I saved $24,000. My stepfather was a border guard. He went on pension. Jubilee House or was WO's quarters that they were staying. They had to throw their things out because my stepfather didn't prepare. So they didn't have anywhere to stay. Then Azumah Nelson and his boss, Mr. Asa, they used to have Paramount Hotel on Achimota Road. Azumah came to fight. There was a shop, a liquor store on 114 and Legnos Avenue. It's called Fred Wines and Liquor. It was a Ghanaian who set up, opened that shop. So most of the taxi drivers, when we are in Harlem and we are tired, we just go and park our car there. I went in there and I saw Azumah Nelson.
Wow. That was your first time meeting him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the boss, Mr. Asa. So talking, I said, oh, say, I have money for my mother. They've thrown them out of their house. But I don't know how to get the money home. The man looked at me and my age, and I mentioned 24,000. He was surprised. So I gave him $16,000. In 1988, Ambassadorial Enclave, when you go under the bridge, you turn right, the first street, I'm telling you today, from that junction to the end, where you make a right to ANC Mo, I connected electricity and water.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, that in 1988, that is where Azumah Nelson's manager bought the house for my parents.
So you actually gave them the money to sort them out?
Yes, to sort my parents. And he was so honest, very sincere, because he liked me, my age and that amount that I mentioned. So when he bought the house, it was a boys' quarters. He got it for 24,000 because I told him I've saved 24,000. So when he got the house, then I quickly sent him the 8,000. So my first house in Ghana here was April 17, 1988.